What's up, guys?
What's going on? We were worried, 4 decisions. Maybe you'd go a little lighter this week, but no, still a lot of contracts. So what'd you think overall of the night?
Awesome. Listen, man, I told you guys for I don't know how many years now. What are we on here? Season 5?
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. I could do this every Tuesday. I love these fights. These are the best unsigned kids out there. The matchmaking is incredible, and fights are really good. So, we'll see how these guys do in the UFC.
Yeah. What'd you think of AJ? Obviously, he's the one that got the finish. I mean, they came out there fighting like crazy. I mean, do you recommend guys go do nutty things like that to start out with? Or
Listen, I recommend you just come in and be who you are and do what you do, and we'll take a look at it and see if you fit. Obviously, there's a lot of things that I loved about him. This guy didn't make weight. They said he literally didn't give a shit. He could care less whether he made weight, and he came in and he fought his ass off. He tried to finish. He never stopped the entire time. When he sunk in the choke, I was like, he's not going to get him with that. And he got him. The guy was aggressive, kept fighting. And how do you not give that guy a shot? You got to.
I saw a lot of debate, questions. If his opponent had won, would you even consider him for a contract? When a guy misses weight, especially during COVID and all, I mean, do you automatically write him off as no way, or do you still?
If you can't make weight to get into the Contender Series, yeah, you're a nightmare I'm not looking for.
Fair enough. I did want to ask you about Morales. That's the one I wasn't sure about, right? Because he looks very, very talented, but he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's clear that dude has a big upside.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to do it in the UFC, right, at a young age. So how difficult of a decision was that one?
Here's the thing. He's 22 years old. Normally, I wouldn't take a kid that young. He's 12-0. He's 12-0. And I'm telling you, this kid that he fought, I got him in Houston at looking for a fight. And you were all here. You saw it. That guy came to win tonight. Not to mention the fact that that's like a 30-year-old man against this 22-year-old kid. And I literally see signs of possible greatness in this kid. If this kid can keep his head together, not lose his fucking mind, and dealing with fame is very hard for a lot of people. And as you start to become more famous, you get in the big show, a lot of doors open up for you that normally wouldn't have opened up for you. And if he can keep it all together, what the hell is this kid going to, first of all, what's his record going to be? And what's he going to look like when he's 26, 27, 28 years old? Those are all the things that remain to be seen.
Yeah, no doubt. I did want to ask you about one fighter that lost, Jacob Rosales, in the first fight. I know you went to go check on him. He was injured, I think broke his arm. I just want to ask you about guys that come here multiple times. I mean, do you see a limit on times that you can get a shot at the Contender Series? I mean, can guys come back 3, 4, 5 times?
Yeah, no. I mean, if you leave, see, that's one of the things I was saying that tonight. One of the things that you guys as the media need to start looking at is these are possible fights of the year, possible rounds of the year, knockouts of the year, and things like that. In this fight, these are the best kids that are out there that are unsigned. And when you come in, you're fighting the other best kids that are out there. I mean, some of these kids that are coming in are undefeated or only have 1 loss. And then you lose and you go back out and you keep winning. No, yeah, you come back and, this isn't like the NFL. You get 1 shot and you never get heard of again. You keep doing your thing and keep improving and keep winning. You can work your way back to the show.
Very nice. Last ones for me. We got a big pay-per-view obviously coming up this weekend. I did want to ask for 2 quick updates. One, we saw a report today that Robbie Lawler and Nick Diaz was going to be a middleweight fight rather than a welterweight fight. Can you tell us?
Yeah, so I just got home. I was gone I left after the fight Saturday. I went to Boston for a couple of days and just got back a couple hours ago. Robbie Lawler texted me that he'll hit me when he lands. So Robbie wants to talk to me about this whole thing. So this all happened when I was out of town this weekend. So yeah, I know that the Diaz camp wants to fight at 85.
We're just waiting to find out if Robbie's okay with that. And then the last thing I want to ask you, and you may not know since just getting back, but Dan Hooker and Nasrat Haqparast both having visa issues. Do we know where that stands?
Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Do we know if one or both is going to be able to compete, or if they're
don't know yet? We're working on it. We should be able to get this done. Hoping we can. I mean, you guys have no idea how much shit we deal with visas and all this kind of stuff. And we got a really good team that saves our ass on a lot of shows. So we should be able to get this done. I'm confident we can.
They done. I just wanted to follow up on that Nick Diaz situation. Do we know the reason why he wants to fight at 185?
Do you think that what?
Why does Nick want to fight at 185?
Why do they want to?
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. He probably doesn't want to make weight. Listen, every time you're coming into a Diaz fight, you know what I mean? And we forget because we haven't seen Nick in a few years.
All right. John Jones, it's the 8th anniversary of his fight with Alexander Gustafsson today. That fight's going into the Hall of Fame later this week. Any plans on meeting with John to talk about his career this week?
I'm sorry, which fight?
John Jones versus Alex Gustafsson.
Gustafsson, yeah.
It's going in the Hall of Fame this week, and John's going to come into town.
Yeah.
Are you planning on meeting with him at all?
I think I know what John, if I see him, I'll see him. We're not having a meeting, but I think we know where he's at. He said he'll fight next year. So I'm not pushing him to fight. No.
Thank you.
If that's what you're asking me.
Yeah. The last thing I wanted to ask about the Contender Series again. We saw a lot of guys who won contracts last week already booked in new fights. Are you finding that guys are coming onto this show and realizing that the best way for them to make an impact is to take another fight as soon as they can?
No. What's the question?
So are you finding that guys are more willing to fight more frequently now because they've seen other guys do it? They know that's what you like to see. Are you finding guys who get contracts turn around and say, I want to fight right away?
Oh, no, I think it's not about it's what I like to see. I think what it is guys realize that it's the thing. If you look at my boy Big Mouth,
Holland.
Yes. Look at what he did. You know what I mean? How that whole thing played out between he and I. Then he ends up coming into the UFC. You know how much money that kid's made? You know, it's crazy. You know, you stay active. You're a professional fighter. That's what you do. And if you can fight often, you should. You make more money, right? You get paid a lot more money, and you burn out your contracts faster, right? Which you keep going like this. So one day I'm on Instagram, right? And he and I, after that, became close. So, you know, we would talk and stuff. And I see this kid, and he's buying all these shoes. I'm like, holy shit. Like expensive shoes, like Nikes that you can't get your fucking hands on, and they're really expensive. And then he starts buying muscle cars and all this stuff. So I called Hunter, and I said, hey, pull the numbers on him. What? I said, holy shit, that's how much fucking money. No wonder why this kid's buying muscle cars and all this stuff. So the bottom line is, the more you fight, the more people see you, the more famous you become. And obviously, if you keep winning, you work your way up and you make a shitload of money. Why would you not?
Is that just what you think? That's a common mistake? Some guys we see, they sit out because they think they'll get a title shot, or they think things will work out their way. You think that's a mistake? There's so many
different reasons where guys will sit out and not fight. And you know how many guys I've had from the past that have called me and said, I fucked up. I made a lot of mistakes. I wish I could do it over again, but you can't. You come here and you have these opportunities, man. You should, as long as you believe in yourself and believe that you can win fights, you should fight as much as you possibly can.
Thank you.
Dana, back here. You're speaking very highly of Michael Morales tonight, and would you say he's one of the most impressive guys you've ever seen on the Contender Series?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't hear well, and it's super echoey in here today, so it's a mess. I would say, if you look at his age, his record, and this tough kid he just fought, yeah, he's one of the most impressive for sure. That's why I said I literally see signs of possible greatness in this kid. There's just so many things that can happen from tonight to the next 3 years, and hopefully it doesn't. I've seen it happen to so many other kids, and dealing with fame. And once all this shit starts to happen, that's why I'm always so blown away by LeBron James. If you look at LeBron James and how young he came into the NBA and what he's done and what he's accomplished, and no matter how much money he's made, he's never in trouble, and he's always trying to be better and always trying to win. You know, when you have that type of a mentality like a LeBron James, sky's the limit, man. And the same thing with the fight business.
And unrelated, but this week, it was yesterday maybe, you guys officially announced the Holly Holm and Nurmagomedov fight at featherweight. Just kind of curious what the thought process was behind that one. Because, you know, Holly, former champ, Norma just got a win over Felicia Spencer at featherweight. Like, how'd that one come together?
Yeah. What do I think of that fight? Yeah, we were literally in matchmaking today talking about that fight. It's going to be interesting. You know, we had our own ideas of how we thought that fight might go, but I won't share that with you. But listen, obviously we like the fight. That's why we made it. And I'm curious to see how that plays out.
And the last thing for me, you know, old buddy Yoel Romero just suffered another loss on Saturday. Curious, you know, if you saw the fight and what you thought of Yoel's performance.
Oh, yeah. That's what I needed now, the air conditioning. That's the fucking cherry on the sundae right there. I literally heard nothing you said, sir. What was that? Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see the fight. I heard that Romero thought it was 3 rounds and not 5. I mean, this is all typical Romero stuff. He was awesome to deal with. Awesome. He's a nice guy. I like him. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but yeah.
Thanks.
Good luck, Bellator.
Dana, right over here on your left.
Yep.
Dana, at a boxing press conference today, Canelo went at Caleb Plant, landed a shot, cut him open. You've been there for a lot of press conferences, a lot of face-offs. Bluntly, do people behave a lot better when the big boss is right there between everybody?
Well, I'm not surprising. Shit show time they're great. Those guys are really good at what they do. From production to press conferences, they're fucking awesome.
Thank you.
How long have you been in the business that you would let 2 fighters go up to each other face to face without somebody there to try to, and then when it breaks out, there's like 2 women that are there in between them before there's a man anywhere near it. You couldn't be fucking dumber than what they did today. Risk a massive fight, you know, with one of the biggest stars in the sport by not having the fighter safe. You can't let 2 alpha males walk up to each other face to face, you know, at the fucking supper club or wherever the hell they were today having that press conference, and let 2 guys, you know, stare down without somebody there to break it up. But they're awesome. They do a great job at everything they do, so it's not shocking. So,
Thank you.
yep.
Even just one question. December, I know we've asked you about it in the past. I don't think you've ever been a big fan of custom rules, mixing up partial like Muay Thai and like a MMA. December 5th, Demetrious Johnson is fighting Rodtang in a custom bout. Starts off in Muay Thai the first round and then goes to MMA. Would the UFC ever do any sort of crazy mix mash thing like that, where you might do a custom rules if you have 2 champs that are willing to do it? And in addition, how do you think that fight, if you know who Rodtang skills, how do you think that fight will play out for DJ?
Let me ask you, do you think I should?
I would love to get your thoughts.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, people, listen, it's like when people ask me about music, like playing live music at the shows. There's a completely different mindset that I have when I go to a concert than when I go to a fight. You know what I'm saying? And when you put 20,000 people in a stadium, the odds that all 20,000 people are going to like the same music is highly unlikely. You know what I mean? It's like if you and I go to an AC/DC concert, we're going to see AC/DC. We like AC/DC, right? If you and I go to an AC/DC concert, And I don't know. Yeah, fucking, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with something funny, but I couldn't. Somebody comes out that we're not into. It's just a completely different vibe. When we go to fights, and there's different types of fights, right? Like there's people that are chomping at the New York fight sold out in hours. Okay, we put that thing on sale, sold out in hours. Now, there's other people that would want to go to a different fight. Different people like different things. When you try to mix match all this stuff, if I want to go to a Muay Thai fight, I'll go see one. It's like if I want to go to a boxing match. If I'm going to pay money and go see a boxing match, there's a certain fight that I want to see. The last one I went to was Fury Wilder 2, was the last boxing match that I went to. I wanted to see it, brought my son, we went together. You don't see me at every fight. I just think that mixing those things up is weird and won't work. But if you have a company and you're bleeding money, you start throwing the kitchen sink at the thing. You start trying to figure out anything to make it work. And that's not a dig. It's just, that's what you got to do when you're in business and shit isn't working. You got to figure out, I don't know, different ideas to make it work. Maybe that's what they're doing. Yes, sir.
Hey, Dana, thanks for taking the time. Speaking of matchmaking, what was the thought process to make the Figueiredo and Brandon trilogy?
Yeah, so we had the oh God, what fight did we have? We were gonna make another fight. Pantoja, yes, thank you. And I don't know if he got hurt. Something happened. I can't remember what happened with him. So when he fell out of the fight, we went with the third fight. It was the only thing that made sense, and both guys wanted it. So you know what I mean. Moreno wanted it, just like Figueiredo wanted it.
Then it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Will that co-main possibly Gagey and or getting ahead of myself?
Will that co-main?
Would that co-main event Gagey and Poirier? I'm sorry, Charles and
yeah. I know what you're saying. I don't know yet. I don't know.
And lastly, if Moreno stays with the belt and you maybe even get a Brian Ortega, how soon do you guys go to Mexico or something like this with Mexican-American champions?
If Moreno wins or Brian Ortega wins, how soon do you go to Mexico for a title fight?
I don't know, man. I'm worried about New York right now. You know what I mean? As long as we can get through New York unscathed, I'll be very happy. I'm not even thinking about other countries right now. But believe me, as soon as we can go to England, Mexico, all these different places, I will be first and will be the first one over there to do it. It's like what's going on this year. I felt absolutely confident and safe in Texas, Florida, Arizona, and Vegas. I knew that once we invested the money to put these fights on, it would happen. The likelihood of them falling apart was very slim. I'm not willing to make that type of an investment yet in other countries.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good? Thanks, guys. Have a good night.